What's going on, everybody? I want to talk about customer support in this video. I'm just pretty much going off on a tangent here. Nothing scripted, nothing written. Just going on whatever comes to mind. But I just wondered if anybody runs across issues with just not very good customer service these days. Or technical support, like in my case, as a computer guy, a lot of times I'll have to deal with support for third-party vendors and whatnot, and it just seems like so many times these days I feel like I got to be the one to push the actual service reps to do their jobs. Like a lot of times I'll have a client of mine, call their software vendor or their internet service provider for support. They get nowhere, or they'll call even multiple times. In many cases they get nowhere, and then all of a sudden I call in as the middle guy basically, and then generally we get things done. But even me though, half the time it's like I feel like when I call in I gotta push the envelope to get these people to do their jobs properly, when in the reality, when a customer of mine calls, no, they're not going to be able to explain the situation as good as I will. Or, maybe they just know they have a problem, but they have no idea, how in the world to explain this problem. But yet, when I do it, we usually, get it done. But I still feel like, as the middle guy or the computer guy, whatever you want to say, it's almost like I feel like a lawyer in a sense, where I know, kind of how to communicate with these people and get it done. But I guess it's just a frustration thing to me that, there's not better customer support out there. Like, I'll give you an example of like literally what just happened today with a client of mine. It's a software vendor that they had to call up because they're a specific program that they deal with clients with. So when a customer walks in, they're dealing with this very specific program. It's kind of a customized program. It's not your typical QuickBooks or something like that. But anyway, they use this to literally, take a customer's information, pay the customer, etc., etc., etc. Well, all of a sudden this morning that program didn't work. Runs on like SQL 2014. I don't do a lot with SQL databases, or sometimes people will say SQL. I've always said SQL. Not something I normally deal with, so my SQL knowledge is like very, very minimal here. So if anybody's watching this that's a genius in SQL, awesome. Me, I'm not. I just don't have to deal with it much. But so long story short, my client calls support. The guy logs in remotely and he's like, I don't know, it's not working. He goes, it's probably a virus or something, or it could be a hardware problem. He basically says, I don't know, I'm sorry, I basically can't help you, right? So I go over there several hours later. I'm looking around, absolutely right. There's no, the program certainly doesn't work, but everything else on the computer works. So I do a hard drive test. Hard drive health is fine. The computer itself is slow. I mean, it's an older Dell Optiplex unit. It is slow. Definitely needs upgraded, no doubt about it. But still a workable computer either way. So I decide, well, let's just do a restore point. I restore back to like, last Friday, like 4 days ago. Everything worked perfectly then. So we do that, wait on it a few minutes. It gets done, successfully restores. Go in there, program still doesn't work. So I call the vendor, talk to the exact same guy, explain to him what's going on. I said, hey, I've, rebooted this thing, did a restore point, checked the hard drive's all good. Everything's cool in this computer, it all works. Yes, it's slow, but your program doesn't work, So I said, I think, something's wrong with this. And so he says, well, yeah, this morning I went in there, SQL, looked like it was corrupted something. So I'm thinking, well, why wouldn't you just try doing it? Why wouldn't you try upgrading? Obviously, I can't say those things because I, want the guy to, not get mad at me and not just, get it done. So I said, so what's the normal procedure then if all that, is working well? And he said, well, I would probably consider trying to upgrade to SQL 2017. And I said, well, my client doesn't want to be down here for multiple days. I said, would you, mind giving that a shot, see if you can make that work? So I was like, we're going to order a new computer since they need one anyway, but, we'd prefer not to be down for 3 days if we can avoid it. So I get him in there. Within 30 minutes, he gets it fixed. 30 minutes, it's done. Ready to go. Worked well. So, I got it done. I got it done with this guy. But, it's like he talked to some other people this morning that, they don't know the computer language to speak to these people. And the guy just like gave up. I don't know if he just didn't even want to try, if he just didn't, got in there, realized, oh my goodness, this computer is slow, I don't want to deal with this, and just said, hey, look, I can't really help you. I don't get it, but I mean, they clearly stated to him that, look, our whole business pretty much runs on this thing, and without this, it's a nightmare without it. And it's like the guy didn't even really try to help him, but yet I get over there, and all of a sudden we make it happen. So it's just, like I said, I guess, for me personally, it just seems like maybe I have better luck talking with them, but to me, it's a messed up world when if a client calls in and has no idea what they're talking about, or they don't know how to explain the problem, how do they get service anymore? I mean, without, me playing the middle guy, a lot of this stuff just doesn't get done. So that's just one example. Another good example is a local internet service provider. They deal with, some businesses I work for and residential people. I mean, more than one occasion, many, many times, internet's garbage, or their VoIP phones are garbage. I mean, there's problems, and they call up, can't get no satisfaction. All of a sudden, I call them up and hit them with facts and figures that, now they got somebody that knows what they're talking about, so they can't just, blow them off. They actually got to get it done. I guess it just really annoys me that customer service is that poor with a lot of these companies, that unless they're inevitably talking to somebody that knows better, that why they don't service people well. I don't get it. I don't understand it, and it's very frustrating. But at least thankfully, most of the time when I'm done talking with it, I mean, generally we do get it done. But like I said, from my customer standpoint, I just don't understand why they can't do a better job. And it's not just one company. This is all kinds of companies. From software vendors to internet service providers to, the big boys like, Frontier, god-awful service. I hope nobody ever has to call Frontier, they're horrible. Or, big companies like Dell or HP or Lenovo, which everybody knows those companies' support all sucks if you're talking Walmart machines or crappy machines coming from Best Buy or whatever. But if you have actual business graded machines, generally the support from those companies is much better, such as Dell, Lenovo. When you buy those new business machines, you usually get 3-year warranty, and you actually get good US phone support with those as well, as people in this industry know that. But if you're not in this work, you don't know that. People don't know the difference between a Walmart machine and a good business class machine. So anyway, that's my rant for the day. Hopefully people understand what I'm talking about here, and let me know if you have any bad experiences or maybe good experiences with customer service, because all I see is seems like as time goes on, it just gets worse and worse, and it seems like the quality of customer service is tough to find these days. And when I do find that rare instances where it's great service, I will gladly use that service. Like I just found a vendor not too long ago off of Amazon that was selling some refurb units. Had a customer buy something off there, came in, it was just kind of goofed up, and I ended up calling their support for them, and it was outstanding. They did a great job, so I've now marked them down as a vendor, and I've had 2 or 3 other people since then buy machines right directly from them. So, and when I find good support, I'll stick with them. Yep, so I guess that's it. If I think of anything else to add to it, we'll make another video. See ya.